What's going on, everybody? It's Sean here, and I am back today to give you guys an overdue review of the Nike Air Fear of God 1 in the light bone colorway. These dropped in North America back in January for a retail price of $395 US. The official colorway for this shoe is light bone and black. So if you guys have seen my previous review of the black colorway of the Air Fear of God 1, pretty much this video is going to be exactly the same, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about the technical aspects or the inspiration behind the design. But if you guys haven't seen that video, I'll definitely add that link down in the description box below. These light bones, being the second colorway of the model, was also very limited and very sought after. Of course, I took an L, so I picked these up over on StockX, and that's why my review is super late. So jumping straight into the shoe, compared to the black colorway, the silhouette is pretty much identical, but the main difference between the two colorways is that the black colorway is constructed out of a combination of suede and nylon, and for these guys, these are pretty much constructed out of this very soft leather. So as a result, I feel like the light bones have a much more luxurious feel to them, whereas arguably the black ones are probably a bit more wearable. So if you guys take a closer look at the toe box, this toe panel is constructed out of what feels like suede. I'm not 100% certain whether the toe box area is constructed out of the same material as the rest of the upper, but at least for my pair that I got, this toe box area feels a bit more suede-like, as you can kind of see a little bit of that fuzz that suede is known to have. Surrounding the edge of the toe box, this area is reinforced with 3M. As we move towards the midfoot and the back end of the shoe, so once again this is constructed out of a super soft leather. This leather is very soft, and you can see the natural creases throughout the shoe. Running down the center of the shoe, we have this strip of nylon, and this extends all the way to the top, acting as a pull tab. The eyelet closest to the front of the shoe is constructed out of a single strand of fly wire. And in terms of laces, these are a rope style lace done in this light bone color, but they also provide us with 3 other lace options. So I believe one of them is a white colored lace that's the same length as this one. There's a second set of white laces which is longer, that allows you to wrap around the collar of the shoe. And then the last lace option is the same color as this one, so light bone, but these ones are longer. On the sides of the shoe, we have this TPU cage that both holds the laces in place and gives you additional structure from the sides of the shoe. And then there's a glossy Nike swoosh found on the lateral side. So on the very bottom of this TPU cage, we have this Nike logo embossed in the center. And you'll notice in the middle, there's a zipper which allows you to unzip the shoe, allowing you to get in and out of the sneaker. So the zipper has this chrome finish, and it has Fear of God on one side and Nike branded on the other. And then as we pull down the zipper, behind this, there is this heel support, which is basically this long piece of white leather. This gives you additional lockdown for your heel and also protects your heels from the zipper. So on the interior side of this heel support, this feels like nylon, and then we have this Air Fear of God patch that's heat pressed on. In terms of the interior, this is constructed out of this very soft, perforated, light bone colored suede. And then as I pull out the insole, so this insole also has this liner of suede, and similar to the black pair, it has these numbers which represent a Bible verse. Underneath the insole, we have visible Zoom Air, and this is a full-length Zoom Air bag. So the upper of these Air Fear of God 1s sits atop this white colored midsole. This midsole has a very sleek appearance to it, and there's basically nothing visible on it except on the lateral side. Here we'll see the words Air Fear of God along with the numbers SN8329166, which is supposed to be Jerry Lorenzo's grandfather's service tag number. And then underneath the heels, we have this bluish window, which reveals a double stacked Zoom Air bag underneath the heel. Last but not least, on the very back of the midsole, we have the words Fear of God embossed on the very center. Turning these over to the bottom, so here we have your outsole. So this is identical to the black pair in that we have the circular traction pattern originating from the pivot point on the forefoot. And on the bottom of the heel, we have this visible window with this Nike swoosh in black. So the other main difference that I saw between the light bones and the black is the midsole color. So for the light bones, this midsole is much more lighter, almost like a white color. And then for these guys, the black colorway has much more of a yellowish tone to it. So in terms of sizing, these fit the same to me as the black pair, regardless of the type of material used on the upper. So my feet measures as a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, and I got these in a size 10. I do have to say, most people do go a half size down. I personally just like to stick with my true size because I do have a wider foot, and these shoes do run more on the narrow and long side. So ideally, if you have skinny and long feet, these would be perfect for you. Otherwise, for most people, I would recommend going a half size down if your feet aren't exceptionally wide. The one major complaint I have about these shoes though, is how difficult it is to get your foot into the shoe. Even if you unzip these all the way, it's a real big struggle getting your foot inside. So these are definitely not a shoe you should be wearing if you know you're going to be having to put on and take off your shoe repeatedly. Comfort wise though, these shoes are surprisingly comfortable. With the full-length Zoom Air bag and the double-stack zoom underneath the heel, Despite looking like a lifestyle casual sneaker, these actually incorporate good Nike technology to make them feel very good on feet. However, the ventilation on these shoes is pretty poor, and if you're not a fan of high tops that don't have your traditional tongue, then I would probably stay away from these guys. Last but not least, from a quality standpoint, I definitely feel like the light bone colorway feels much more luxurious than the black. This suede or leather upper, whatever you want to call it, this material is top notch, and just holding the two in hand, I definitely feel like this colorway feels at least much more worth it than the black colorway. At the end of the day though, it's your personal preference. It really comes down to the color and what you guys see yourself wearing more. So with all that being said, now let me lace these up and I'll show you guys how these look on feet. The Air Fear of God is one of the most unique collabs that we've seen in quite some time, and I think Jerry Lorenzo made a very good choice in releasing both a black colorway and this light bone colorway. Between the two, you really can't go wrong with either, and as I said from the start, I feel like I would wear the black colorway a bit more, but this light bone colorway just visually feels much more luxurious, and it allows you to really see all the intricate details gone into making this shoe. So let me know in the comment section down below, between the two, which one do you guys prefer, and if you guys managed to grab a pair for yourself. If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Give me a follow on Instagram at esco8. Be sure to visit my Twitter at sean.go and check out my website at seango.ca. So until next time, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.